Hey, what's going on, fam? It's your boy Bobby Patterson, aka Bobby P, coming to you with another amazing episode of the Victim No More podcast. I want to thank each and every one of you that is viewing this live. And for those of you who are going to catch this on replay, I appreciate you too. For those who are watching this live, go ahead and share this. There's going to be another powerful interview that's happening tonight, because it's a little special, because this is a newly minted transformation contest winner. So we really want to hear from her today. But in the meantime, what I want to do before we officially introduce her, and before I get into all that, for those of you who have supported and purchased some the Victim No More podcast gear, t-shirts, and other merchandise, thank you. I appreciate it very kindly. And for those of you who want to support, go to store.thevictimnomore.com. store.thevictimnomore.com. And ladies and gentlemen, before we actually get into this next interview, I kind of want to go into part of the reason why the Victim No More podcast actually exists. It came about by the unctioning of God himself. Shortly after I had walked the stage at the Houston event to be a 2021 transformation contest winner myself. And through that particular event, I've come to learn that the biggest part of the business that I'm involved in, and a large amount of you who actually watch and support this podcast, we all are a part of this amazing energy called Total Life Changes. And the products are amazing, no doubt. But what really sets our business apart from a lot of other businesses is the ability and the passion in which we share our stories. And that's a big portion of the reason why this podcast exists. Because you never know, you might be watching as a fan right now, but you yourself one day may be on this platform. So don't go to sleep, keep working, master telling your story. As you are mastering telling your story and becoming a product of the product, also become real good at telling other people's stories. When you add number one and then step number two, you're going to come up with step number three. and that is help creating more success stories. So that's pretty much in a nutshell. That's what I'll go into. That's where I'll stop at this particular point. But as you can tell, I love what I do. I love sharing these stories. I love sharing these stories beyond, okay, what did you take? Okay, well, what did it do for you? No, there's a story behind our journeys. And that's the essence in which people connect with people. And whatever that individual is successful doing, and whatever products that individual is taking, when their tribe identifies them, they're going to be like, look, whatever is working for them, I want some of that. Get me some of that, and I'm going to do whatever they're doing. So please, please become great storytellers, because your story could actually save somebody's life. Now, before we actually bring on this evening's guest, you know what I do. I run a short video package, kind of give you an introduction, kind of warm you up to the amazing person that's coming on deck next. So just hold on.
Changes. I was lost. I was overweight, like way overweight. I didn't feel confident about myself. I would look in the mirror and I would want to cry because I would be disgusted at what I see. It wasn't even all about my weight. I didn't like the person, the reflection.
I've been a big dude my whole entire life, obese, not a little overweight, obese. I was content going down the path that who knows where it would end it. But it's totally different today.
I went through so many different things in my life. Not having my biological mother, we don't have a relationship at all. I'm trying very hard to genuinely forgive her. So I was just in a really deep, dark depression. Joining the Total Life Changes family has been the best decision I've ever made. It was nothing but God that led us to Total Life Changes, and me when I did, and then him being by my side through it.
She got me involved in whatever she needs me to do, I'm doing it. Now we're really doing it together. I have a level of confidence that I never even thought possible.
I just transformed my mind tremendously. I developed a new.
I definitely gained a life partner, like, it saved us.
It did. It totally saved our relationship. It was over. Yeah, it was done. If it were not for Total Life Changes and the positive effects and how it really, really changed our lives, we would not be sitting here in front of you together today.
Definitely not together.
It doesn't get the credit that it really deserves. It's amazing. I'm so happy. When I first started Total Life Changes, I weighed 185 pounds. I now weigh 141 pounds with a total weight loss of 44 pounds.
When I first started Total Life Changes, I weighed 278 pounds. I now weigh 194 pounds with a total weight loss of 84 pounds.
Together, we have lost 128 pounds. My name is Ashely Alexander.
My name is James Drummer.
And we have made a total life change.
All right, all right, all right.
Hello, hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Miss Ashely Alexander. How are you? And welcome to the Victor No More podcast.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. I am well. I am so happy, so excited, so grateful to be here and to be serving on your amazing platform for the first time. I'm just so excited and so grateful.
Yes, good. And so happy to have you. And this is not the first time that we've actually encountered or met.
No.
It was actually by chance. We have some mutual friends, mutual connections, and we was participating in a live on Instagram. a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned something, and the language sounded familiar to me. So I reached out to you. I was like, okay, all right.
You
And
did.
so from there, we saw each other in Dallas, and I had to give you your space because I knew what was about to happen, and I knew that once you and Mr. James Drummer walked across that stage, life was not going to be the same. Your business was not going to be
Oh
the same
man.
once that has occurred. So just I usually, we kind of take the trip of, where you've been, where you are, and where you're going, and we're going to do that. But we just got to start out and just wanting to know, how do you feel after walking across that stage and telling your story along with your boyfriend, Mr. James Drummer? How did that experience feel?
Yes, yes. And first let me just say, from James himself, he couldn't be here tonight. So he does send his most sincere apologies, but maybe, y'all can reconvene and, get him later or something. But to answer your question, I feel amazing. Okay. I am still on cloud nine about it. I personally like things have just started to take off. Like doors have started to open. um like my social media has like been through the roof, like
Yeah.
through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
um and amazingly enough, and it's so crazy to me, but my some of my family members that have been telling me no about my products all this time,
Uh-huh.
now they are so interested. I mean, they've literally made purchases already,
Wow,
so,
that's
and it's
amazing.
like, I'm not even, I'm no celebrity yet, but I don't know what it took for them to be a believer, because just my weight loss wasn't enough. Like me
Uh-huh.
being on that stage though did something for them, and now they are complete believers of it. But I feel amazing. I'm on cloud nine still. I really, really am. No words can express the way I feel about it.
Yeah, I can identify because, you know, I did the same thing back in April,
Yes.
and nothing, nothing is the same. This podcast is a result of, well, one of the results of walking across that stage and
Wow.
telling our story. So, yeah, and you haven't seen nothing yet.
That's what I
I-
keep hearing.
If if you think you have had your mind blown, wait until we get to Vegas,
Oh
because
man.
see, then the people will recognize you. They'll see you. It's just different, and you can ask other transformation contest winners, and they would tell you the same thing.
I mean,
Absolutely.
we were literally feeling like celebrities walking through that hotel after the fact, because it was like people was stopping us. We couldn't walk 2 feet before people was asking us like, "Can we take a picture with y'all?" And we like, "Sure, yeah," like, and one couple stopped us and they were like, "Yeah, we've been seeing you all day since you guys got off the stage, but we didn't want to, stop you. We didn't want to look like groupies." And we like, "Groupies? We not even celebrities. Like what?" So it's an amazing feeling. It's amazing.
Now, of course, your boyfriend James Drummer, he couldn't be with us this evening, but before we get into that story, uh, we kind of want to get a background as to who was Ashely Alexander. Before we discovered we needed a transformation, before we really understood that maybe perhaps I needed to make a total life change. Who was Ashely as a young girl, and as she grew into a woman? Kind of take us briefly through that journey.
Yeah, sure, sure. So, actually growing up as a young girl, I didn't have my mom, my biological mother in my life. I can remember maybe as far back as being 4 or 5, the
Hmm.
last like actual real encounters that I had with her. Um, my mother became addicted to drugs, and she just became a product of her environment. And so that, ended a relationship for the most part between us. My dad, stepped up as a single father, and he got custody of me. And between my dad and his mother, my grandmother, thank God for her, they raised me. My dad remarried, and I had my stepmother in my life, who is wonderful, and she showed me, so to speak, how to grow up and how to be a woman. But I never had my biological mother. And I
Okay.
don't care how many other women come into the picture, they could be sent straight from God, but that is not your mother.
Right.
So there's always been that gap and that void that I've had, that, I think maybe I've tried to fill over the years. And the way I tried to fill that gap, I don't even think I said this in part of my testimony interview with Total Life Changes, but the way I tried to fill that gap of my mother not being there and missing that love from her was through different men, and I had so many different boyfriends and so many men come in and out of my life, outside of my dad, that, I was trying to get this love from, because I didn't have my mother. So that definitely weighed heavily on
Hmm.
who I grew up to become, the type of mother that I was, to my children. Um, and I didn't know that I needed a total life change. I just initially had wanted to lose some weight. I was depressed. I was working a job. I was quick to quit a job and go find another one. That was
Hmm.
me. I always had a job because I always had to pay bills and make ends meet, but I would quickly quit a job and find another one. Every month or so, I got a new job. So I'm job hopping. I'm still looking for something, all
Hmm.
the while, just still looking for something. I had my first child when I turned 21. I was married at 22 to his father. I was divorced quickly. Well, not quickly, but some years after that, we got divorced. And later on, I had a 3-year-old son. All this time, and that's the son that me and James have together. So fast forward, all this time, I'm just going through the motions, just very lost, very depressed. And at that time, I didn't even know I was depressed. You'd be surprised how many
Right.
people, especially women, walk around and they don't even know that they are depressed. You think this is normal life, this is how I'm supposed to be functioning, and that's not true at all. If there's no happiness to your life at all, something's wrong. But that's how mental illness is real, because for you to go through the motions of life every day thinking that being unhappy and miserable is the
Is
way of life,
Yeah, it's normal.
you think that's normal. So many people think that's normal, and that's what I was doing. And I just knew, like, I would wake up sometimes, or I would cry myself to sleep, and I would be like, Lord, I know it's got to be something else. It's got to be a bigger purpose for me. Like,
Mhm.
this can't be it. It can't just be working a 9 to 5. It can't just be working a midnight job and raising my kids and just going through the motions. This can't be it. So here I am. I'm just still searching. Well, by the time I have my 2018 comes, I meet James, we have our child. um we are going through the motions together. Okay, when I
Okay.
met him, he was overweight. When he met me, I was overweight, and we decided to be overweight together. And this was 2018, and we was just gonna go through the motions together because we think that this is normal. And because we are both, now he don't even notice that he's going through, he got his own story, from not having his father in his
Right.
life, and like so many other things that added to the man that he was before Total Life Changes.
Okay.
So here we are, our son is born 2018. We going through the motions, but I mean, here come 2019 rolling around, our son turning 1. Now we are even further in a depression because we in it together now. So now it's all my depressed thoughts and emotions and feelings, and then all his, and now they combine together. And then he has a son from a previous relationship, as
Mhm.
I have a son from a previous relationship. So now here are two adults living in a home with three innocent children that don't got nothing to do with nothing. And we can't get along to save our lives. We can't stop arguing. I mean, we can't stop throwing stuff. It's bad. It's really,
Wow.
really,
It must have gotten very intense.
oh
The
man.
tension was probably thick enough to cut with a knife.
I can't even, I'm not even gonna go into detail because all of that is in the past. You know what I'm saying? And we want y'all to know who we are today. But I'm it's safe to say that, you know, it was really ugly. I mean, to the point to where our parents got involved in it and was like,
Wow.
if y'all don't do something, we gonna step in and do something, because these kids cannot continue to live life like this. If this is how y'all want to live life, this is what you do. But these babies deserve better than this.
Now,
So it got so bad. It got so bad to the point to where my oldest son had to go live with his father, and James' son had to go live with his mother. And we're just in the house with our baby because our baby can't go nowhere. You know, we got him. You know, we're his parents. We can't send him with the other parent.
right.
So this was 2019. Our son is 1. Fast forward, we going through the motions. Fast forward 2020. 2020 is in March. March 2020 is when I made a decision, not nothing about total life changes. I made a decision to say, we have to separate. This has to be over. You know, the kids is gone. You know, we gotta do better. I gotta get me together. I need to figure
Mhm.
out who I am. I don't know what that means. I don't know what process I'm about to go through. I don't know what is about to happen, but I'm about to make something happen because this ain't it. And I advise you to do the same thing.
Now, can I ask you this, because this kind of goes into a teaching that I give, the 5 steps to transformation. And the first step that I actually describe is called a C moment, SEE, which stands for significant emotional event. Like, there's just one incident that kind of separates itself from all the others, and it's the one that triggers you to take action. If you could, if you don't mind, what was that one incident? It don't even have to be major. I know with me, it wasn't even really a super major event. It was just that event where my spirit just said, you know what? I am tired and enough is enough. I'm ready to change. What was that event for you?
Um, so for me, I was on the phone. Remember, I said our children outside of us had to leave the home because it got
Mhm.
so bad. So for me, and at the time, my son, he'll be 13 in December, but he was 9 years old then.
Okay.
He was turning 10. So he told me, he said, I was having a conversation with him. He had went to live with his dad. I was having a conversation with him, and we think our kids, you know, don't see certain things. We think that because they kids, I don't know, but they just miss everything that happened before their
Right.
eyes. When really they see it all, you
Everything.
know. So for me, it was I had a conversation on the phone with my son one day, and I said his name is Christian. And I said, Christian, you know, I was in general conversation with him, asking him how he was doing, how he was feeling about everything, how school was going. And he told me, he said, Mom, and my son has always been like, you know, before his time. And he said, Mom, I feel some type of way because I feel like I had to leave our home, but my brother got to stay there with y'all and be a family.
Mm.
And when my son told me that, wait a minute, wait. Okay, wait. When my son told me that, I broke down. He didn't know I broke down on the phone. To this day, he don't know. But I broke down, and it took me a while. It took me a while to be able to forgive myself for that. And I kept replaying them words in my head. And for me, you can have them, eat them. For me, it was that moment that was like, Ashely, enough is enough. Your son literally has told you he feels some type of way because he had to leave his home and his brother got to stay. So how do you explain that? You know?
Wow.
So when I couldn't explain that to him in ways where he would comprehend it, where it would make sense, or nothing I could say could make it okay, you know? So for me, that was that moment. That was my C moment.
Wow. Thank you for actually going into detail about that, because there's always an incident or maybe even a string of incidents, you know, bound together that really initiates that change. We all have a C moment, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. And those C moments are very important because without them, we would probably never change. So
Absolutely.
there's always, every human being has an IQ limit. And what I mean by that is there's always an I quit limit. Like, I done had enough. Okay, I gotta do something. And you had hit your IQ.
Yep.
And now that laid the foundation, the beginnings of how we got to where we are right now. So as hard as it was necessary.
It was
And it
necessary.
was necessary. So now that we done had the C moment, we recognize we need to make a change. Now, kind of walk us through this process bit by bit, as far as
Yeah. So like you said, I have my C moment, where, you know, I came to reality, came to grasp with things. So once I did that and I made a decision that something had to change, I didn't know what. I just know the something was me, and I didn't know what was going to take place or how I was going to do it. So I prayed. Mind you, before this moment, before this day, I hadn't prayed. I told God I was over him. Literally, like, how dare you, right? I told God I was over it. I was over it. I was over him. I was over, because everything was his fault. You know, I was over everything he was putting me through. I was over everything he was allowing me to go through. I was over it because I didn't deserve nothing, right? So I prayed. And it's crazy that God got me in allowed me to get myself into a situation to bring me right back to him, you know? So I got down on my knees and I felt stupid while I was doing it. More so embarrassed than I felt stupid. I was embarrassed in front of God because I felt like, you know, now you need God. Now you want to get on your knees and now you want to pray. Now you want to talk to the Father. But before this, you had washed your hands and you was done, you know? So I had a how dare you moment. It was like a reality moment for me as well. So I got on my knees and I prayed and I said, Lord, I don't know how you are going to do this. I don't know how you going to strengthen me to do this. I don't know what's next. I don't know what we're going to do, but I need you to do something. I need you to come into my life and I need you to do something. I need you to do something. I need it to happen now. So, you know, we live on Facebook. We live on social media, right?
right.
I was working at the time at Black Rock Grill in Ann Arbor. I was working as a waitress. This was April. No, this was the end of March 2020. Right when the pandemic hit. Everybody was starting to file unemployment. I had just got laid off from my job, but that week is when all of this happened, when I prayed and I said, Lord, you got to do something. You got to come in. So I'm at work that last week before they laid us off. I was at work and I'm scrolling on Facebook. I was on my break. I was eating a baked potato, a loaded baked potato. I'll never forget the moment. I'm scrolling on Facebook and I seen Shalonda Mallory.
Okay.
And I seen her and she had posted this transformation picture. And at that time, I didn't know nothing about a transformation picture. I didn't know nothing she was doing. I didn't know Total Life Changes existed. Mind you, I had started drinking a detox tea already by Keisha Kayor. She has a detox tea out. I was drinking this detox tea because my best friend was drinking it and she told me to try it. So I was trying this detox tea. Wasn't working, mind you, wasn't working. So I seen Shalonda's transformation pictures on Facebook. Be quiet. And so when I seen him, I said, oh my God, she had to have that surgery everybody be getting, that bypass surgery. Like, she had to have surgery because what did she do to lose all of this weight? So I sent her a message and I told her, basically I told her she looked amazing. I need to know what it is you did, because whatever it is you did, I need parts of it, right?
Right.
Mind you, I'm still thinking she telling me she didn't have some type of surgery. So in my mind, I'm thinking I'm going to have to save up to do whatever it is she did to go lay on somebody's table. That's how good she looked. And she told me, she said, no, I'm just taking these supplements. Have you ever heard of Total Life Changes? I'm like, no, I don't know nothing about that. I don't even care. I don't want to know about that. Just give me what you got. I bought this bag of tea. I bought the bag of tea. When I bought the bag of tea, I started to consume it. She said, just drink it, Ashley. Just drink it and tell me how you feel in a week. I started to drink this tea. And mind you, like I said, I don't know nothing about Total Life Changes, Coach Stormy. I don't know nothing about that. I'm drinking this tea. My first 7 days, I lost 8 pounds just drinking the tea. Just drinking the tea. So then I said, oh, my stomach feel good. My stomach feel better. I'm able to use the bathroom every day, because I suffer from something called IBS. And that can go either way. Either you use the bathroom uncontrollably too much, or you can't use the bathroom enough regularly. So for me, I can't use the bathroom enough regularly. So I'm like, okay, I can use the bathroom multiple times a day. I feel less bloated. This is all in 1 week. I'm like, cool. But in my mind, I'm still not convinced, because our mind is a powerful thing.
Yes.
So in my mind, I'm still not convinced. This tea not working. This is me. Like, I'm eating a little different or something. I ain't eat that much this week. Okay. So, and now James, he ain't drinking nothing. He ain't on nothing. He ain't drinking nothing. He just buying it. He ain't drinking it. So, and we're still separated. We're still living apart. We're apart.
Mm-hmm.
So I drink the tea. I continue to drink the tea. I'm drinking the tea. I done bought another bag of tea. 30 days go by. In my first 30 days, I was able to lose 27 pounds in my first 30 days.
Wow. That's incredible.
That's amazing. Because
Now,
I've tried everything.
Now, Ashley, before you go any further, even though it's visually seen
Hold
on
on.
this podcast, I have to verbally say this, that we do not make any claims, any medical claims about any cures or mitigating any diseases. These are just pure testimonies of individuals' experiences by taking these products from Total Life Changes. Now that I got that out the way, keep it moving.
So anyways, so 27 pounds my first 30 days. I wasn't exercising. I did not change the way that I ate. None of that. So now I go on to believe this bag of tea is working. It ain't just me. It's working. Now I'm starting to walk every single day. Okay. So James is walking every day with me. Now I'm pushing the tea on him. I'm like, you need to go ahead and you need to drink this tea. Like, you need to, he still ain't want no parts of it. He's just supporting me walking, going on walks and stuff, So I went on to, I told Shalonda, I said, I feel like, I'm starting to feel sluggish. Like, I feel like tired, like I detox. I feel like I don't got no energy, So she said, you need to get you some NutriBurst. So then I got me a bottle of NutriBurst. And I'm drinking this NutriBurst. She said, girl, yeah, you only need 1 capful a day. I'm drinking this NutriBurst once a day. I'm drinking my tea at night before I go to bed. So now this NutriBurst, I'm feeling amazing, like literally. And I know it might sound cliche, y'all, but I'm feeling amazing off taking this NutriBurst, these vitamins every single day. Like I'm feeling great.
Right.
So then I start adding, beyond the workout or beyond the walking, I start adding like actual workout, like lifting light weights, like actual cardio, jumping jacks, like a vigorous workout. And I started working out with I Am Hennessy Fitness on Instagram.
Okay.
Me and James working out with Hennessy on Instagram. He still ain't taking no products. James still ain't drinking no tea. He ain't taking nothing. So then I said, Shalonda, I'm feeling like, like I need some more energy. I'm working out. I need some more something. So she like, girl, you need that NRG. You need to get this NRG. So then I get this NRG. And I start taking one capsule of the NRG. I'm washing it down with my NutriBurst. I'm taking my tea at night. Before you knew it, 5 months had went by and I lost 62 pounds.
Ooh,
Okay.
wow.
Now I sped up just a little bit, but in between that, you know, after my first 90 days of taking the products, that's when James got on board. Once he seen like, okay, she really losing the weight. Her skin looked better. She's a completely different person. She got more energy to be with the kids. Like she, you know, she's nicer to me. She's not all mean, you know, like we getting along. If he's
Yeah,
trying to argue, I'm literally like, whatever you believe is right, whatever you think is right, or I'm walking away from them. You know what I'm saying? So he's seeing me
right,
change as a person, and me changing as a person. Not only, you know, did these products help me as a on a physical aspect, as far as losing weight and gaining confidence to feel good about myself and who I look at and see in the mirror, but it also changed my mental, because the fact that I was able to detox them toxins out of my body completely. You know what I'm saying? It's not just your belly. I was able to
right,
detox my body completely. You know what I'm saying? This NRG help me think clearly. You know what I'm saying? Because it promotes the mental clarity and focus. So I literally decided to change my life all around in a total aspect of things. Mind, body, and spirit. They don't just name that tour mind,
right,
body, and spirit for nothing. These products, if you really work with the products, if you
right.
work with the supplements, you don't have no choice but to change as a person. And I know that sounds crazy. People is like, how can a bottle of vitamins help me change who I am? But I'm telling y'all, it did. I'm sorry, I had to mute my mic. My baby
Oh,
was
I understand.
screaming.
Mama duty. You gotta do what you gotta do. Look, what you're literally talking about and describing, of course, this is your own experience. But you know, it's ironic that before you came on, you know, I was literally kind of given somewhat of a class of how our business really, really works. If people could really understand the importance of having your own journey,
Oh,
actually being a product of the product, because you are a poster child of how this thing really works. Because the products, see, I tell people this all the time. It's never an issue of whether or not the products will work. The issue is whether or not you allow the products to work for you. And
come on.
once you make that decision, that's when everything begins to change. So when you had made up in your mind, look, I got to do this. I've tried everything else. I don't know what else to do. All I saw, watch this, was somebody else on their journey. And
Come
now
on.
you are on yours. So guess what's gonna happen, Ashley? There are folks who have literally watched you on your journey and they have started theirs. This is how this
Absolutely.
thing is supposed to work. The first story we need to work on is our own.
And you
That
know,
is
like
it.
I did a live the other night, and I think it might have been last night even, and I stressed that, you know, your journey and your own personal transformation, mind, body, and spirit. We're not just talking about a physical transformation. Your story is what is going to sell your products. You know what I'm saying? People be like, they have a hard time building a team, a hard time with people joining you in business, but your story and your authenticity is what is going to bring people in and attract people to you. Like
Right.
I can go back and look on some of the lives that I did October 2020 to now. Like some of the lives that I did then, I would get on my live and I would talk about this bag of tea, and I would be reading from a notepad and everything that I got written down. But now I can get on here and I can talk about these products. I can name what's in them. I can name the vitamins. I can name what they do for you. I can name the products you should take if you're pregnant or if you're nursing. And that is because I literally live, eat, sleep, and breathe these products. I consume them on a daily basis. And the best part is I know what they did for me. So it's easy for me to get on here and tell you 36,000 things that NRG can possibly do for you because I know what they physically do for me because I'm a product of my products.
Girl, you're preaching. Keep going.
You know, and it's just, I was telling James, like, people literally ask me, people that are in the business and have been in the business longer than me, and I'm flabbergasted by it. I'm honored, but I'm flabbergasted by it because I be wanting to know, like, because they asked me, how can you just get on your live and just talk about these 3 main products and you on there just spitting stuff off, like, and you just know what you're talking about? Be quiet, Samaj. It's because I live the products. I breathe them. I eat them. I sleep them. I don't go a day without consuming them. And I know what they did for me. And I know what they're doing for people that are not only on my team, but personal customers that I have. So all of these things are just personal testimonies that we giving and we sharing with the world, because there's a woman that's going to go to sleep tonight at 11:30 and she's going to cry herself to sleep right next to her man that's in the bed with her, who has no idea that she's crying herself to sleep because her confidence is nowhere. She don't have none no more. You know what I'm saying? And if the woman of the house ain't right, nobody's
Ain't nobody right.
Nobody's good. The kids ain't good. The daddy ain't good. Nobody's good. You know what I'm saying? So it took, and that's why, I really, really, really do take my hat off to James supporting me. And I mean, he really didn't have a choice. If we was going to be together, it was this way or the highway. You know what I'm saying? So, he won by default.
Oh boy.
I really take my hat off to him because it is so many women, especially being at this convention that we was just at in Dallas, who personally came up to me and told me that, you so lucky and you so blessed to have a man behind you that really supports the vision, sees the vision, and is helping you, and y'all doing it together. So
yeah,
it's
that is
amazing.
huge. That is huge. And I take my hats off to James, because see, just like he made a decision to support, there are so many that make a decision not to, for whatever reason or another. Maybe fear, who knows? But the bottom line is this, is that when you see someone that you are attached to really trying to do something better, you would think the initiative to just want to support should automatically kick in, and it doesn't. It comes with a decision. So I applaud him for making that decision, and in the process of doing that, he became healthier himself.
Oh my goodness, he lost close to double the weight that I did. It got to a point where he was going harder than I was, and he had a lot more weight to lose, but he was happy. Well, I won't say happy. He thought he was happy,
right,
with the person that he was. You know what I'm saying? Especially with being overweight, because that's just something that is, I ain't gonna say hereditary, but the people in his family, they are overweight.
right.
So that's just something that he thought was going to be his destiny. You know what I'm saying? This is what it's supposed to be. This is what I am, and I'm accepting it. But he'll tell you, to this day that, joining Total Life Changes and becoming a life changer, not just taking the products, but literally joining Total Life Changes, becoming a part of this company and this community, has been the best thing and the best decision that he has ever made this far in his life, and he'll be 30 years old next year,
Okay.
and this is the best decision either one of us has ever made,
I
ever.
can concur, because I feel the same way. So let's kind of fast forward now. Who came up with the idea that
Wait a
we
minute.
need to submit our stories for the transformation contest, Mind, Body, and Spirit Tour Stop Dallas. Who came up with the idea?
I would love to be able to take the credit for that, but I have to pay homage where it is due, I suppose. So James came up with that. So this is how that went. I walked in the house one day and he was like, I was coming off of a walk, and he was like, Ashely, you know what? He was like, Total Life Changes got this thing going, this contest going called Mind, Body, and Spirit Dallas. And it's for the next event that they hosting out there. He was like, and it's a transformation contest. You should enter it. I'm about to enter it. And I was just like, okay. I brushed it off. I was just like, okay, you go ahead. Like, all the hundreds of thousands of people that's in Total Life Changes that's going to enter into that contest. And this is how negative thinking I was, okay? I'm a life changer, mind you. But this is where my mind was at. And I was like, I literally said to this man, I said, what makes you think they going to choose you or my story out of all these people that's going to submit their transformation stories? What's going to make our story so special? And he just looked at me, Ashely, and he just looked at me. He was just like, Ashely, okay, well, I'm going to submit my story. You do what you want to do. He was like, but you should do it. And wouldn't it be crazy if we both won? And I just looked at him and I was like, yeah, that would be crazy. And I submitted my story. I didn't even tell him that I did it. Wow. He did his. I submitted mine. I didn't say nothing to him about it because I kind of felt goofy. Like, you know, I brushed it off. So here I am submitting it. Let's see what happens. So weeks go by, month go by, couple months go by. We ain't heard nothing. I ain't put it out my mind. I ain't even thought about it. We ain't talked about it no more. We get an email. Both of us get an email from Total Life Changes staff. And basically the email said that we were finalists in the contest. So we hadn't won yet, but we was finalists.
Okay. And
so they sent it to him and me, but separately. So then we sent our emails back and we talked about it. We conversated about it. And he was like, yeah, Total Life Changes said I was a finalist. I'm like, what? Me too. That's crazy. He's like, see, I told you it'd be crazy if we won. And I was like, yeah, but they said finalists. Here I am still being negative. They said finalists. We ain't win yet. Like, this just, like we just getting real close. They just gonna let us touch it a little bit. They ain't gonna give it to us. So he like, whatever, Ashely, I'm not listening to you. I'm about to email this lady back. So we both emailed him back. About a week or so go by. They send us another email separately telling us they wanted to do a live interview with us, but separately. This whole time, they do not know that
y'all are a couple.
We are a couple living together again, back together. They don't know nothing. They don't know we related in no type of way, shape, or form. So hold on. Wait a minute. Go wait for me. Here I come. Wait a minute. So then fast forward another week or so go by. Now we did the interview, Now in the interview, he mentioned me, okay? And they didn't say nothing about him to me. They do my interview and I mentioned him like just randomly in my interview. And they was like, she stopped me mid-interview. She's like, James. She's like, wait a minute. Hold on. Now we just interviewed with the James. And she was like, what's his last name? And I was like, Drummer. She was like, no way. So wait a minute. Is that your boyfriend? And I'm like, yeah, we do Total Life Changes together. He's on my team. And they were like, oh my God, we had no idea. Blah, 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 blah. So we still finalists. And they like, well, we love your story. And this just adds a whole nother segment to it.
Right.
They were like, so we already loved y'all individually. But now they were like, this is like new. This is different.
Yeah.
She was like,
it
so
takes
we
on
gotta
an
take
entirely
this.
different
Yeah,
posture,
she was like, so we got to take
meaning.
this to Jack and John. And they're going to love this. She was like, and then we'll be in contact with you guys to let you know what's final and what's not. She was like, but either way, we'll be contacting you. 2 more weeks go by. Now we got fingers crossed. We like on the edge of our seat. Like what they gonna say? Good job. What they gonna say? What they gonna do? What's gonna happen? They finally call us. And they sent me a text message and they said, we want to talk to you and James both at the same time when you guys have a chance. So we was on a walk. Like we was walking. We hurried up, got back home, called Carrie Ann, and she was like, we got him on the phone, and she was like, well, congratulations to you both. We're going to combine your stories together because we've never had a story like this before. And we want to congratulate you on being winners of the Mind, Body, Spirit Dallas 2021. And we was like, oh my God. And then what really blew our mind, because in our mind, we like, okay, so now we finna have to, we about to have to put money aside so we can pay for a room. We're going to go, but it's about to be tight for a minute. She hit us with, no, we about to fly y'all out. It's all expense paid. You don't have to pay $1 for anything.
Yeah,
like
that's a different experience.
They truly made us feel like celebrities. They picked us up in that big black truck, and I don't care what nobody say. Don't nobody treat their people like total life changes.
No,
nobody.
Not at all. Not at all. Well, congratulations for, first of all, becoming a transformation contest winner, but even more so, along with you and James, you all literally created history by being the first couple actually recognized as transformation contest winners. So that was a very unique moment, on that stage in Dallas, and that was amazing. And I had opportunity to interact with you guys after.
Yes.
That was the kind of the burden that was lifted, because once I had a good idea what was about to happen to you, I said, I don't want to talk to her no more. Because
once they hit us with that non-disclosure agreement, they scared me a little bit. And I'm like, shoot, they was like, you can say anything you want about the event. You can say anything about you being in Dallas. They was like, but you cannot say that you are the winners in any way, shape, or form. So we was like, oh my God, can we post that? Can we say this? Can we,
So, in closing, and I'm gonna add something here, because our connection started before this.
It did.
The transformation contest, because I was able to witness something.
You did.
And what got me with you is that we have a mutual friend by the name of Kai Blue. He himself is about to go through some history.
Yes, he is.
Come this Sunday.
Yes, he is.
But when you got on there, and the way that you congratulated him, and way that we were just
it was
really
flowing,
giving a whole lot of love. That live was a lot of love. And the way that you got on there and really showered that young man with love, I'm not surprised by what I'm seeing now.
Thank you.
So, I'll say this, and I'll just leave this here. You've only just begun.
Thank you.
And, being on this platform, of course, this is an opportunity to build upon what's already there. Keep building on this. You have a unique story. You have the type of passion and personality that could really move people. And the more that you walk into this, and if James was here, I'll say the same thing, because I had the opportunity to speak with him some, and it don't take me long to discern somebody's spirit. It really don't. You all are going to be able to do some things together that is just going to be absolutely amazing. And there's favor on the both of you. You all didn't go through all what you done went through before you got to this place right here. And here's the deal. You're on your assignment right now. I teach real hard about assignment. Those of us who have this experience, it ain't by accident. It is by divine design. And so when you have this type of assignment, it comes with a lot of responsibility. But guess what? There's a lot of reward that comes along with it as well. And I am very curious as to where yourself and my brother James going to be a year from now. And I know that there's going to be a lot to talk about, because there is there's a responsibility that we have is not only life changers, but once we walk across that stage as transformation contest winners, we automatically become ambassadors for the company.
Yes, it's like we on stage the entire time now. You know, we
Right,
never
right.
walked off.
And it's okay. It's okay because we live in this thing anyway. It's just that we have more spotlight on us, so to speak. But I want to encourage you to keep doing the work that you're doing.
Thank
Keep
you.
doing the lives that you're doing. So I don't miss nothing. I think it was a live. I think I saw yesterday, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So this content challenge. Yeah, that's another conversation.
Yeah.
But I want you to continue to be visible. I want you to continue to tell your story, because the more that you tell your story, it will allow your tribe to continue to find you. This is not about you appealing to everybody, because you ain't for everybody. You're for somebody.
Exactly.
This is not about you actually, being everywhere. This is about you being somewhere. Because when you are for who you're supposed to be for, and you're walking and being placed where you're supposed to be, you have no choice but to be successful when you're walking out your assignment.
Absolutely. Oh, I
So,
received that.
so in closing, what word of encouragement would you have for someone that may be on the fence of actually just trying out the product? We ain't even talking about the business at this particular point. We just want to talk to the folk who's just a tad bit skeptical. What words of positivity would you have for them as we close?
So, I was one of those people, as far as these products go. We couldn't take up too much time, so I touched bases on my story, but it wasn't just one day of me scrolling through Facebook and seeing Shalonda's transformation that made me say, hey, I want to buy these products. You know what I'm saying? I had to see it a few times, because like I told you, I thought that she had did something else. Can't
Right.
be these products. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get the skepticism. But what I would say is, just going off my personal experience, stop being skeptical. And I'm not saying that because I'm in the business and I want you to go purchase so that, Total Life Changes can grow into this company we trying to get it to be. No, I'm saying stop being skeptical, because you done tried everything else anyway. And if you haven't tried everything else anyway, you're going to try. You're going to try everything else, and everything else is not going to work from you. And it's going to lead you right back here to Total Life Changes. So, because we the only thing that's changing lives completely 100%. So, I would just say to stop being skeptical, but because I was skeptical and I put it off, who knows? I should probably be further along than I am now. But I held up my own blessings and how far along I should be in my own journey because of my skepticism. So don't let your mind play tricks on you and let your skepticism trick you out your own spot, because there's more for you, and that is what I would say to the people that are on the fence about trying these products.
Oh, and there's nothing else left to add. Once again, y'all give some love in the chat for Miss Ashely Alexander for gracing us on the Victor No More podcast this evening. This has been absolutely incredible. And of course, this will not be the last time you be on this podcast.
Absolutely not.
Trust and believe. Trust and believe. Hey, look, before we go, please make sure you share, this live, even on the replay. Share this incredible interview. Trust and believe it's gonna touch somebody. And also too, as I had stated earlier, I appreciate all the love and support as far as the Victor No More podcast is concerned. And now that the merchandise is ready, I appreciate you all actually supporting. So please pick up a t-shirt, pick up some merchandise.
I definitely will.
.thevictornomore.com so we can keep this going, because it is absolutely about the stories, because these stories are literally helping save lives. All right, family, my time is up. I thank you for yours. Peace. And Ashely, don't go anywhere.
Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Plug it up. Yeah, plug it up.
like that.